Test, 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 test. Tested, 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 tested. Alright, let's get this on the road. Sound check. Sound check. Okay. We be live. Let me update this. Starting a coworking stream. Doing Javascript development. Okay. It's 9:30 a.m. here in New Hampshire. I'm about to start hopefully, at least a few hours of coding work. I'm not really feeling like starting. I guess it's Tuesday. Monday was a holiday. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to start with 15 minutes on the clock and see if that gets me unstuck. But first, let me move some stuff around. First thing I'm going to do is just move this. I want to have like the stream video on this far monitor over here, which is unseeing. That's it. Let's move this camera back. We'll see some more what's going on. Not sure how interesting this is, but I just like having cameras everywhere. Alright, so I'm going to start the 15-minute timer and try to remember what I was doing last week. Blink. Oh, there it goes. Morning blahs. Or Tuesday, well, start of the work week blahs, let's say. And this is the tough part of getting started for me. Let's see. It's working on the educational JavaScript project, looking at my continuity journal, and let's see. The last time I worked on this was September 2nd. I ported the new 14.01 server fixes to Play, which is the educational project. Changes to renderer init required modification of the old code. I'm just going to update a few things here. So this was my checklist from, I guess, the end of August, and just kind of seeing what network persistence identity. So what do I want to do? And I guess the thing to do is, just since I don't remember anything, let me just take a look at where we are. So let me put this into full screen mode. Let me load up this particular project. Let's play. Let me go back to the desktop. Let me get out of this and CD to the actual project. Start it up. Over here, let's go to localhost 3000. Open up the project. This is a weird project because there's multiple. I had to run a whole bunch of different components at the same time. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I should set up a window capture. Maybe stuff it someplace. Let me try that, just out of curiosity. So, oops. What I'm going to do is OBS. I'm going to do this particular scene, which is display plus chat. I'm going to add window capture, and I'm going to see if I can just pop the terminal up so I can have that on a separate screen, physically on a separate screen here. And yeah, there we go. So I can just stick it down in the corner someplace where I can kind of monitor what's going on. Might not be very legible though. Let's see. That might not be bad. But let me resize the term window. It doesn't need to be this big. Oh, that actually works really well. Huh. So that's huge. But let me shrink this down. So at least I can, so people can at least see what's going on in the terminal window. I just cover up my face. Yeah, okay, that might work. Let's move this back. We're fiddling. Of course, I can't see the terminal window now. Yeah, that's actually pretty legible. Looking at full screen on the 1920 by 1080 monitor. Yeah. Now I obsessively want to line this up so it's like all the way to the left. Okay, so now that's running. I can have a little bit more screen real estate here. So now I can pop this sucker. So, oops, it's not quite wide enough. So I can monitor what's going on here. Over here on the right side of the console window. Where was I? It's bsim, this is running, I think. I don't think of, okay, this is using the new scaling setup, or not. That might have been something I needed to do. Let me pop up my sticky notes. And sticky notes here, I'll just put this on the screen and float this so I can write down some things that are coming to mind. Question, do I need to finish porting bsim scale mode? Because one thing I added was a new scaling system. Actually, the answer to this is no. No, the old code will be going away. Replaced later, let's say. The old code is dependent. Actually, it's dependent on UI bind. Depended. Is not compatible with the current screen module. Let's see. And now let's pull up teacher app. Teacher app is a separate web app that runs off this server. I guess I can actually not, I don't need the console. This can actually run very small. So let's do that. There is an alignment issue, I think. So this is also using an old UI layout, I think. And then we need to actually also run. Oops, is the menu broken? Issue. Menu drop down is broken. Is there any errors popping up? Why isn't that working? Let me pull up a student app while I'm here. Oh, it might be because this is Bootstrap 3 and we were using Bootstrap 2 before. Maybe I haven't updated the classes. Here's the student app. Oops. Move this around. Okay, here's the teacher app, student app, and the UI is really ugly. The last thing we need is, what's the last thing we need? The last thing we need is, I guess, a fake track instance that simulates actual tracker input. I don't think this scales properly. No, this is like a fixed size. So we're kind of screwed on this. So I'll put that here. And so with the fig track now, we have movement on the window over there. This is simulating a motion tracking system. That's not, I don't have the hardware or sensors for doing this, so this allows me to test what's going on. And then over here, we have this rudimentary UI that allows us to save screenshots. These are some pre-saved screenshots. So I can select this and select a student app and tell it to send screen. That copies this over here. And then I can draw on this, and then I can show the paint layer. Or I'm supposed to be able to show the paint layer. Now here it's, but there's a scaling issue with it. Menu drop down is broken. Paint layer is not aligned, scaling correctly. So those are two issues that need to be fixed. Okay, I think I'm kind of warmed up now, so I'm going to start my billing clock over here on my PC. Kind of remember where I am. And that took, there's 10 minutes to get to this point. I paid insurance to pay that. I'm just kind of looking at my to-do list here and my timesheet, which you can show it here. It's too bad I don't have the black magic turned on. They could just show the source. But anyway, just over here in this monitor, I'm typing in some timesheet information. I don't think it's really that visible. No. Anyway, today is what, the 6th? Yes. And I'm just making a new. I use Excel to keep track of my time. I mean, it's I have a website post called tracking time in Excel, or keeping time in Excel. It allows me to bill in quarter hours and and also have a sortable timesheet at the end of this, which is used for billing. It's actually pretty cool. So let's see. What time is it now? It's 9:43. Let's call it 9:45. I'm starting. And I don't know what I'm doing yet, so I'll just do Ink, which is the name of the. I guess I'm in planning, so Ink plan. So what am I doing? What do I need to do? Let me go back to my Quiver notebook and see. There's meeting notes, hold system. Usually in the continuity, I write down some stuff about what I'm thinking. It might be useful to look at some past meeting notes, which I can't show people, I think. All right, we gotta pull this up. I should be monitoring the screen on a different new window. There we go. I don't think this will be legible, but over on this screen, I'm about to look at our internal whiteboard. Yeah, that's good. So I had said we were talking about a demo. This stuff I can actually talk about. Let me type it into here. In fact, let's move this stuff out. Let's look at a new checklist. Starting here. Demo checklist. So what we want to do is we want to show examples, network triggering. Example, mini iPad student app show. We also want example service shell. What's a mini iPad? Is that? No, it's a mini app. iPad mini app. Service shell. The service shell is something that responds to a trigger. iPad mini app. Student app shell. And this is things like buttons, rendering. I think the mini app, that can be something that does reflection. Let's see, main application, button grabs all screenshots on all devices. Example, one button, main app has button that gathers data from all instances and displays image, screenshots, displays. That would be a good example of like what the new unified messaging system does, which makes this kind of writing, which should make our asynchronous event networked application code much easier to write than it was before. I'm actually kind of pleased with it. Let's see. Tech demo is annotation plus video. Tech demo, annotation plus video. This is probably a longer term. We also want to see if bsim is working correctly. Bsim working correctly? So that was our last Scrum meeting. We also have some design work to check in. Check how is the new particle game coming along? Because we need to write that at some point. Check. We also want to student demo. How is, oops. Just screw that up. Oops, yeah. How is new student demo based on bees coming along? And so then this is our tech feature checklist is below it. Alright, so that's kind of where we are now. This is going to be up there. So it's what, September 5? Alright. So here on the right side is what we're looking at. Let's just made this. Let me add some sexy horizontal rolls. Sexy. So which of these things is the best to do? Just thinking through them. Making the iPad mini apps, that requires having our network persistent identity system in. I think that's probably something that I should do first. maybe, but something that might be just kind of sexy would be to do a reflection of bsim and see if we can ship the piece data across from one instance to another instance. That does not require making the identity system. Whereas all this iPad mini app stuff, that needs to have that in there for it to work. Or at least for it to be a good demo. What would be immediately sexy is being able to ship our piece data across the network and have it update an app. So I think we'll do that. So for September, let's say we're work on, I'm going to call it piece mirroring, or piece. We'll call it display list distribution. The display list is the list of all the graphics that need to be shown. So how would that work? Well, the first thing I think to do would be to make a shell in which I can play in, and that's going to be a whole new application. I'm updating my timesheet here. Review Scrum list, Scrum notes, pick display list, reflection or distrib as initial topic. I think Ben would be excited to see that too. It would also let us know what we can get away with for replay. So it does work into a number of things that are important for making future design decisions. The replay code is essential. We could either try to write a video capture server, which might be interesting given all my interest in live streaming recently, but it's also a huge rabbit hole that I don't think I really want to. We would like to avoid it. Unless we had additional time to spend specifically on writing a nice video server system. And for that, even to write that, I think we need to get the identity stuff, persistent identity, which is like every device registered on the Uninet has to have a number of ways of being referenced and then saved, and we need to actually create some sort of back-end database or something to keep track of everything that's going on. And on top of that, we probably should have the design of these other systems along there too, because we need to cross-check the functionality meeting the feature requirements. There's also a check design here of how are devices referenced by teachers, students. These are questions that have gone out to the other stakeholders. I mean, like, I could just make something up, but this is the sort of thing that I don't have the domain expertise in teachers, students, bees, or particles. You have made the systems that enable others to create applications. All right. I'm going to table these other bugs for now, but first I should probably just enter them as issues. So I'll just do that now. Let's go to GitHub. And report these issues in my repos. 14.0108. Oops, that's the wrong one. Play. Issues, where is that? Issues, that's new issue. New sneezes. I'm going to call this, I'll update my timesheet. This is under ink repo. Note current issues with build. Is this still in dev? Did I merge this to dev yet? I'm curious. So under play, what's the last branch? We're in dev branch. No, I think that's weird. I don't think I've committed it yet. Let me pull up source tree. I'm putting this under the repo management code, task code. This is 1401A1. We don't want this. We want to close. Oh, this is it. Let's put that on its own screen. That's a good place for it. Oh yeah. So this is where we are now. So this is the current merged operation. What I want to do, I think, let me just make sure I'm running in the right Git. Oops. What happens if I make this bigger? What branch am I on? I'm on dev merge bg007, which is correct, and it seems to largely be working. So I think I'll just commit it. Is that a bad idea? It might be. It might be a very bad idea. Or it could be a great idea. Straight edge doesn't shrink any more than that. Yeah. I have to say the software encoder is much better than the hardware encoder, looking at the stream over here. Although it looks like... No, okay, I thought I froze for a moment. CPU percent 25.1. No dropped frames. KB per second 1441. Because I'm using the variable bitrate instead of constant bitrate, which is better for my my somewhat underpowered cable internet connection. It maxes out at 5 megabits per second upload, and so yeah, that means I can't really stream fast-moving, high-definition video, which is what this is supposed to be. Let's see. Let me double a quick check on messages before I dive into this. People are busy in the chat room. That's good. They're reporting what they're doing. That's good. People are working. I said that like it's exciting to be around people who are working. This is what I really missed, I think, about working at a place. What I didn't miss was not being my own boss. So we're a bunch of, I guess, lone wolves trying to get things done. Let's see. What was I doing? I'm going to merge this thing. That's right. So let's go back to source tree. I'm still somewhat of a noob at Git. What are these? These are server 1401, game run. Yeah, these are essential changes. I changed some of the initialization syntax format. Changed some indents. I think I would call this, I should commit this in 2 parts. That's just white space changes. These are necessary initialization changes. So how would I call this? This was an update with play compatibility. Okay. Dev merge. This is update apps to use new 1401 conventions in server init or node server. Well, server init graphics system init. Commit. This is like a minor whitefix change. Let's commit that. What was this? Dev merge bg007 white space or indentation. Fix indentation. and source. This is cosmetic. Okay, so I think I can push this branch and do a pull request on it. Always these make me nervous. So the way it works is you push. You push this branch. Yeah. What I'm worried about is is it doing? Is it working? Seems to be taking its sweet time. Uh-oh. Is it crashing? Oh, it's just slow. Alright, so I pushed that up. Now I had to go to back to GitHub. And that's the merge I just did. I'm going to do a compare and pull request. No, this I got to write up what this is. So this can be automatically merged. Here's what it says I did. Update apps. So here's the beginning of it. On August 23rd. None of this has been pushed up yet. This is being... Yeah, I want to commit this to dev. These are all changes. Implement fixed fluid file size. So what's the name of this feature? Renderer updates. Renderer. Well, we're in 30 minutes into work. That's great. That's 30 minutes of billable time. Let's see. What I added was I fixed the graphic system. So we now have specific types of layouts. And there are server crash fixes. Although I'm surprised. There's two features in this. I should have pushed one display modes up first. But I pushed display modes up and then server crashes. Because I wanted to make sure that dev would still run. Yeah. Update renderer, or let's see, new screen layout, or screen layout mode, screen layout support, server stability. Fixes. There are two major features, a feature and a fix. The feature is a new system called Screen, new system module, which implements fixed layouts, fixed, scaled, and fluid layouts without the need to create the CSS that makes this happen. You can instead just initialize the screen system with a single call. This will make creating new apps much less finicky when it comes to the HTML. This will make it easier to create new apps, since the HTML doesn't have to be fiddled with to make it work. The fix is improvements to server, to the way that the node server is started, including started from our gulp file. Before, the server would intermittently but consistently crash with an EADR in use error due to the way that HTTP IO would block on live reloading a source file. The gulp file and server code have been refactored to allow more graceful, or at least more predictable server loading. So it shouldn't crash anymore. Additionally, the new server can detect changes not only to, or can live reload on changes not only to browser JavaScript, but to node JavaScript too. This means if you change a server file, e.g. Step, is it WebServe? I can't remember the name of it. Step server, StepCom. No, Step WebServe is a new one. Step Unisys is a more Step Unisys. The server will automatically be shut down, wait 3 seconds, and restart. Before, you would have to Control C to terminate the process terminal, and then run the gulp command. I've also added support for running the node debugger if you have Node Inspector installed. Invoke gulp debug to start with debugger support. Port enabled. And follow the instructions on the terminal to see the debugger, the GUI. All right, I think that's it. This was kind of a media update. So there's my pull request. It claims there's no conflicts with the base branch. Now the issue I have is whether, there's a certain Git workflow model I'm following, and I want to be able to see when I'm doing merges. But since I'm merging from multiple branches and also an upstream repo, which is the 1401A1 repo, I'm never sure when to create a new commit object or to do a fast forward. Because you can do it either on GitHub or you can do it on your local repo. I suppose if I was working solo, which I kind of am, but I'm trying to practice for group development, I could do everything in GitHub locally and just push things up. But I've been trying to get used to this pull requests workflow. I don't think I quite have it right. But what I'm going to do is, let me see what the options are. I'm going to merge a pull request. Server stream fixes. It doesn't even give me the option, so I think it automatically creates the commit object. And I guess the way to test that would be to go to my local thing and pull from dev. Let me switch to dev, and it should tell me that dev is now out of date. Oh no, it's not. Oh, actually it seems to think I already have it. No. Okay, there it is. There's the new one. And it has merged it, origin dev, merged the pull request, and has bumped it down. So I should be able to pull it. And this is where should I create a new commit even if it's a fast forward merge? I think in this case I don't want to, because I already see the history up here. So let's see. Include messages from commits being merged and merge commit. Okay, it's going to actually make me make a new commit object too. It looks like, well, let's see what happens. Uh-oh. It makes me nervous when it takes a long time. I have source trees set to not automatically commit. So there's all the stuff. So basically I round tripped this. All my changes in dev merged went up and then they came down again. And I believe since every commit object has a SHA with it, which is unique, it should recognize. Alright, so merge pull request from number 6 from Dave, say Dave merge BG07. Do I like that or not? If I commit it, what happens? There's nothing to commit. What? I don't get it. But at least it's kind of consistent looking. Merge commit. But the thing that I didn't like is I didn't get to name this. How so? In what cases do I get to name it? Let me make some notes here. What did I do here? I have some Git notes someplace. Actually, let me write that on the GitHub. I think I have something for this. Use the switcher design. Let's make a new git commit process. When I'm working on a feature, let's see, branch from dev, which should have all previous code committed. Create new branch dev feature name. Should be up to date. Work on changes, committing locally. When ready to commit branch to dev, feature name to dev, we will do it via GitHub. committing to GitHub. Push dev feature name to GitHub on GitHub. Is it GitHub? Is it capital G, capital H? I don't know. On GitHub, create a pull request onto dev from dev feature name. Now the options were what? I could look back at the stream and see what I did. Let me see. Oh, okay. Write pull request notes as a feature using the commit history. Write pull request notes in a high level manner so people know what it does, what was intended as a feature. Commit on GitHub. Don't delete the branch yet. Updating local repo. Although we have dev feature name locally as the original branch, we're going to pull from origin dev. This is where I'm certain, like, use. Oh, I see what's going on. Options for this, for pull from GitHub. Leave everything unchecked. If instead you're merging from a local branch, you can probably, you should use the create new commit object instead of fast forwarding. So the history shows branching features being merged. When pulling from the origin remote branch, the pull request will have already made a new commit object, but you won't be able to rename it. Alright, so I think that's the issue. That clarifies that. So let's save these notes. These will be good for other people who are working on it to know how we set this up. And let me finish writing these issues. So issue, menu, or let's see, UI. Bootstrap responsive menu. Or let's see, the Bootstrap menu breaks on small screens. Like I say, nav menu. When the navigation When the browser screen is narrow enough to trigger the pancake menu, it no longer, you can no longer click on it to choose a menu item. Nothing happens. The navigation does work when the screen is wide enough. For any app, Bees, teacher app, student app, so another issue, the other issue is the digital paint layer. Student app, digital paint, this is actually both apps, digital or paint annotation. Student app and teacher app are not aligned. Overlays are drawn, or paint overlays are not drawn the same, or not aligned. If the student app and teacher app are different sizes, i.e. the browser windows are different dimensions, pulling the digital paint layer, oops, not in Bees, student app and Bees from student app and drawing it on Bees will be drawn should look identical. However, the Bees version is not scaled or aligned. Okay. So we have our issues logged. And how long did that take? It almost took 30 minutes. Is there anything else I need to do on this? I guess I could include a screenshot if I wanted to be really thorough about it, but I don't think I will do that. Let's call it 10:30. How long have I been working now? About 3/4 of an hour. Not quite an hour. An hour I'm going to take a break. Let me do a branch. Let's make sure that this is looking correct. Git branch. I am on the dev branch. Actually, I'm curious what happens if since I have merged all the changes from this. Actually, I should make sure it still works. Yeah, let's do that. Let me make a new terminal window. here, what I want to do is just make sure that I can compile it. So, dev, there's this rm minus fr test play. And what I want to do is clone this thing out. And just make sure that people can actually use this. Move this out of the way for a bit for now. Oh. I'm going to play run. No, I stopped running it. So I want to go to GitHub. And let's pull the latest dev. Where is that? Clone or download? Let's do it over here. I guess I'd do it here. Bar. Git clone. I'm going to copy this whole thing into test play directory. Let's watch it closely, why don't we? It's quick. And over here in the other terminal window. Stupid things in the way now. cd dev cd test play. I don't know if people can see that. Well, let me do it on this other window. cd test play, cd build. What are the instructions? npm install. It's excitingly building things. What's this? Update the min-match CO2 or older to avoid a regular expression denial of service issue? Where is this coming from? Alright, so it seemed to work. Let's see if we can actually run it though. Kind of expecting errors. If I don't test this, like Ben will have problems getting this to work. And it'll be frustrating and lame. Seems to work. What's going on here? Why did it reload? Is it caught in a loop of some kind? That was weird. It launched the server, then it relaunched itself. Play serve, register service. Why did it run twice? Is that happening consistently? I'm gonna log that as an issue. Let me see what happens if I do it again. So this time it hasn't had to do all this stuff. It's doing this. Is it going to relaunch the server? This time it didn't. I'm marking that as an issue. First time run. First time running gulp launches server twice. Paste this login. Just copying all the pertinent elements to recreate this. What did I do? So I did this. And then after that, please use Gulp Live Server instead. What the hell is Gulp Live Server? Where's my npm install? Okay, then I did npm install. Then I did, so it does all this stuff. Then I did gulp. All right. See what this looks in the preview. Let's see. I suspect it might be here. Finished build. Starting default, finish default. Let's start all of these. I just think it's probably all important, because this is the run task stuff. Starting CD for using, oops. Starting build. It won't. Oh, there we go. Bower gets our components up to here. So how am I going to close this? Notice that the server is killed and restarted on the first load. This doesn't seem to happen otherwise on subsequent invocations of gulp. Noting now what time is it? Now it's 10:34, so I'm going to call that done for now. It seems to work. What's missing though is the additional, oh yes, right. Let me look at pull requests. There is a new requirement that's not going to be revealed by this process, and which is, let me edit this. Requires npm install -g to use this feature, make sure you install Node Inspector globally with npm install -g save dev node inspector. Then invoke. Is that right? I think it's right. The save dev might not be necessary. Ugh, okay. So that's done. See if the student app still loads. Crash? No, it still runs. Weird. That's a relief. And let's see. Fake track is still fake track. So let me move this over here. Teacher, still teacher. Bees is still bees. Although this should have... Okay, there it goes. The message is a little slow in coming up. I'm curious. Okay, so when I did the screens like that, it did burst the upstream data rate. It's blurring out a bit. It should stabilize. I'm just looking at the screen over here and seeing how blurry it is. It's gotten more blurry than it was before. Just to make sure. Still have audio? Good. Keep worrying that the batteries will run out. It's much blurrier now for some reason. It says the stream health is poor. They may be experiencing minor issues. I don't know what it is. CPU still at 28%. No dropped frames. So all this seems to be working. Oops, network.js closed. Why is that? I want to see my terminal. Let me launch this on this side. We're still in test play, I need to remember that. cd build, gulp. So I can monitor it over here on the main screen, on the stream feed. It is much blurrier now, why is that? Kind of upsetting. Let's check some stuff over here. Oh, OBS is right profile, settings, output. Maybe YouTube doesn't like VBR. Video is, yeah, everything looks okay to me here. Anyway, what was I doing? We need to make a mini app. As far as I can tell, well, let's see. Gulp's running over there. And if I reload this, I should see a bunch of messages come up over here. So WebW server is getting its local IP address, it's adding to the net list. Various system message handlers are happening. Over here, and it should register a bunch more features. And it's null because bees, which is the home of all these button commands, is required to send this. It sends it, this pulls some. Oh, it looks like it's crashed. That might have found an issue here. Off screen, there's no texture bound to what? What's going on here? This error reporting is a little different. Did I just get a Chrome update? Sprite.js is. I have not seen these types of errors before. Alright, what's going on? Register function. Register stage handler. Function registers window context, not object context. That is new. Okay, let's switch back to the other. This is why we're testing this. CD dev. Let's go to our current build. C build. Let's gulp this. And let's refresh all this stuff. Same thing, refresh student app. Now let's refresh the teacher app, which is what I did last time in this order. Now let's refresh bees. And here it's working. So what is different? Here's the error we saw before. Function register the window in the object context. UI bind 199 and 238. Register stage handler, register a mode handler. Some of these are bugs that were in there before. This is trying to load the field. This is also an existing error, but this one compared. Let's copy this output. Can I do that? Actually, let's clear this. Clear console history. Oh, come on. Clear console. Let's reload this. And I want to compare it. Let's just grab all this. Let's go to Sublime Text. Let's make a copy that. Alright, and on this side we'll do the same thing. But we'll do it from test play. CD dev test play build gulp. Let's go back over here and do that in the same order. So first, let's refresh student app. And then let's refresh teacher app. And then let's refresh bees. And we get the same issue. Although this time, we have a bunch of event complaints. A lot of them. So where do these end? There is a lot more bugs in here. This console output looks different. No, I guess I just only captured it from here down. Let's see. whole bunch of event errors. I have this notion what it might be actually. So let's see. Up to where is it the same? Extended 60 behavior. Predator already created, reusing, got empty array, broadcasting button list, 3 min. Oh, okay, so right from below here. It's different. I'll leave a little bit in there for context. And it's different starting here. We're not getting the... We're getting this error because this texture is loading. It looks like here... Sprite.js 196. Sprite is a... Is that ours or is it theirs? I don't have a file called Sprite.js. At least I don't think so. Oops. Command P, what is it? Command Option P? Nope. Option P? Oops. What's the command of the go to anything thing? Go to anything, Command P. Sprite.js. Oh, there is a Sprite.js. I could have sworn it was called Ink. No, it would have been called Ink Sprite. So it is, the class is Ink Sprite, but the file is Sprite. What was it? 9196. On error, Sprite set texture failed to load. Is that what's happening? So that's on 196. How come I'm not seeing the console error? Type error. Why am I not seeing? Oh, 96 is here. Okay, it's actually logging the error. Alright, so there we're getting multiple things. So this is being called from probably our sprite loader. Can't find texture path. Where is this being referred to? Image load texture. That's probably up here. Let me turn on word wrap view. Okay, so it's trying to load the texture, but it's getting an error. The error specifically is... I have it here. This. Why is it not printing my actual output error? Let's make a modification. Yeah, I keep going to the wrong place. If this indeed is where it's happening, and no, actually, I need to edit this in test play because that's the one that's running. Let me close this project. Can I duplicate the project? No. Close this project. Let me open it again. Let me open oh, there's no project because I don't commit the Sublime project files. So we'll just have to load it. File, open, and that will be in dev, test play, build. Actually, let's make a project. Add folder to project. Dev. Test play. Open. Save project. test. Oops. How come it's... Why is it defaulting to this folder? Why is this so dumb? Is it the last place it's... oh, is that the last file that loaded? Anyway, dev test play. Save. So anyway, let's go look and build assets modules 1401. I think it's objects, visuals, sprite.js. Let's look at 1186, make sure it's the same. If debug out, oh, okay, that's debug out is false in this, isn't it? You know. Console log, let's do this. JSON stringify. It'll be a little bit easier to read. Okay, let's save this sucker. And it should... Is it reloading? I saved the source file, so it should live reload, but it doesn't look like it is. Oh, there it goes. Yep. It's just, okay. Let's embiggen this again. Let's get rid of that desktop. So over here, let me do the same thing. Let's reload this image. And I should see the network update. And now let's go to teacher app and reload this. And then after that's done, let's reload this. Okay. It's not providing a whole lot of... So it repeated the same string message, is trusted, true. But that's the only thing in the object. There's the texture. Before I was dumping events out. Is the error is trusted false? And why isn't trusted being set? I think it's because it must be related to texture loading. Or when it, or there's a change in the library that this pull is revealing that my old pull is not. So let's try this. Let me go back to dev play and then dev play build. Let me do an npm install again and see if it updates any packages. It's updating normalized tree, and that looks like that was the only thing it did. fx extra required JS root. So now if I gulp from here, unless there's some differences, and I reload this, and I reload this, I reload this. And so here I'm not getting that issue. I am seeing this though. What is the difference? I'm loading these images from the server. I'm guessing that's crapping out with some sort of access area related to cross site media loading. But there's code in there to detect that, so I'm not sure why this pull is having the issue. The tests repo versus the other one. Is there a way to compare Bower installs or package installs? It could also be. I wonder if the package has changed. Let me try this. I'm going to remove my node modules, or wait, my Bower. What if I can do that without screwing this up? Move, where is it? Bower components. Temp Bower, or old Bower components. And if I do a gulp now, it should reload all the Bower components and copy them. And in fact, let me gulp clean first. I'll nuke all my... And let me move old Bower. Okay, so I've cleaned it. Let's see if this changes it. My guess is that there's something new in one of the JavaScript side libraries. What's causing this? Nope, didn't cause that. That seems to work. It could be that it's a different app signature, and the cached files in the browser don't correspond. But let me try the moving the Bower components thing. To old Bower components. Gulp clean. Gulp. Let's see if this makes a difference. So now it's reloading all the Bower stuff. Looks like it's pulling from the cache Bower components someplace. Alright, so now it's... Let's see if this happens. So I'm reloading. 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 Oh, it's still loading. What else could it be? Let's get rid of the old Bower components directory. Mysterious, mysterious, mysterious. Let's take a deeper look at the error code. I mean, this will cd dev test play cd build gulp. Let's reload. Load. Oops. Now reload. Oops. Reload. There's a squirrel outside. Oh, I looked. Squirrel made me look! Okay, so we're still getting this issue here. What could it be? It's trusted true. So let me take a look at... This is using set texture. Using 3 image utils load texture. Why is it just not wrapping anymore? Text loaded is equals texture Q shift. Am I still doing that? Sprite set texture failed to load, loaded. Let's see. It is getting an error. I guess we need to look at this image utils load texture thing. I don't think this will find it. No, because it's not. Let's look at, I guess we'll have to look at 3.js. 3.js image utils load texture. Something like that. Oh, what's this? It's being deprecated. Use 3 texture loader instead. No. We're using an old version. That is a better change, though. This is the actually. Three image utils, load texture. Frickin' 3.js documentation. The lack of default verbatim search in Google is really killing my productivity. It's an image. Actually, it's deprecated now, so there's probably no documentation on it anymore. No, but maybe it's where is it? Load texture. Texture load. Let's assume it's the same. Cross origin. You have set assigns the cross origin attribute the value of cross origin prior to starting load. I could swear that I've set that true in all the source code. Load, unload on progress on error. That looks different. We call those errors. Well, okay, I can't tell from that, so I can try something else. My error reporting is not being particularly effective. I think it's getting a function object and filtering all this stuff out. So let me try something else. Instead of stringifying this, let me output the error again. I'm not sure why this is. Okay, it's reloading. So this time is trusted. It's producing more here out here. Why is JSON stringify not returning all of this? Because this is an event object. Here's the path it's trying to load. Bees media URL. Dropbox. Is the cache system broken? I mean, it could be the issue. And in fact, no, that's not right. Okay. I think we need to test that. All right, we'll do it from here so I have a bigger terminal window. And let's close this other stuff because I think I can concentrate just on bsim, not any of these other things. Let's give ourselves some room. Let's make sure we're in test. We're still in test play. Let's gulp this sucker. Oh, we've really lost quality on the stream. I wonder if I can change the type from VBR to CBR and see what happens. See if that improves it. CPU has just jumped up to 34%. We're doing constant bitrate encoding now. I want to see if this cleans everything up. I was being really stingy before on streaming. I could be just losing a lot of packets. But anyway, so I have more of a window here. I can see what's going on. And let's see. I have a suspicion. Let's reload this. And this files directory, file B demo 1. I wonder if there's an error in my my media loader. Maybe there's a directory it can't create. Let's see. Media loader, media loader, media loader. That would be in the server. Oh, media cache is here. This is test play. So let's see if there's anything in the media cache. Oh, those are the files. Everything should have loaded. Let's look in lib. I don't think these will be useful. We don't have any logging currently. And we're not logging anything really serious yet. So that would be step web serve. We have a service called media somewhere. Where is it? Media. And let's see. I should be seeing reports. If there's an error, let's enable these logs again. Logger, logger, logger. Okay. Oops. Ooh, there's my automatic server reload code. Sexy. So let's see if this actually reports what it's trying to cache. Here we go. So, here, these are the web, line 71, web server request, download, request, Hive. So it's returning the cached files. So it's getting them. Let's look actually, what's this? Is there an actual error here somewhere here? No, that's the same one that. That's not a JavaScript error. Got a bunch of warnings. Where are the warnings? If we go to elements, or rather network, we should see if there's any load errors. I don't see any. Is field anywhere in here? 1401 games. Oh wait, that's weird. Why are these living? these are yeah, I need to factor that stuff out. That's my issue, particles, systems, load, always, pollen, 1, etc. So here's the media URL. So it looks like maybe this actually isn't working. It's trying to load out of DL Dropbox content. Let's take a look at this. I mean, that should be working. Copy. Oh, there's a copy. Copy. Response. That's not what I want. I didn't know you could even do that. That's pretty cool. What was the response? Data image Pong base 64. That's correct. But what does this say? It's Hive. That should be a big ass file. Is it saving the wrong thing? Or returning the wrong thing? I just want this whole localhost 3000 media question mark HTTPS DL there. That's what it's getting. It seems to not be returning the right thing though. So here I'm seeing it's fetching the cache, or it's a cached fetch. But let's see if it's actually. This is a more interesting bug than I thought it would be. Oops, that's not what I want to go move the trash. Let's take a look. So in dev, test play, build, server, media cache, download dropout user content, the step, then bees. There's no file sizes showing. Why is that? These are all 0 bytes. Why would that be? Predator Pong looks like something, but why are these not showing? Field is 0 bytes. That's odd. So a test, I think, for my code would be thusly. Let's kill the media cache directory. I wonder if Ben moved all this stuff. Let me check over here on my other computer, because that would be an issue. Let's see where that would be. That would be my Dropbox shared folder. Where would it be? I don't even know how to get to that directory. Where's the step directory? Step bees. Where's step bees? Step assets. Bees. This is mine though. Let me see if I can replace that field with something else. But first, let me see if I can recreate the bug on my regular CD play, CD build, CD server, CD media cache. Yeah. ls-r or LSH LR. So here I've got stuff. August 18th was the last time I pulled these. And look, these are fine, large files. And the reason why I can't see these is because... Okay, let me try this. Over on my Dropbox, let me try to load my file. Site can't be reached because it didn't work. Actually, no, let me try this directly. It's a public file. No, that loads. So the file exists. Oops, that wasn't field, what was it? That's a JPEG. I can load this file. So it exists. There's a bug in the writing code, though, apparently. Okay. So confirming that Dropbox is serving, let us nuke my media cache folder in my server. This is play server armfr media cache. Okay. cd dev play build gulp. And let's go reload this from bsim. I'm hopeful that this crashes in this or has the same problem as it did before. That would mean the bug is in my code, probably in the cache writing. Yep. Ah, we're getting better error messages this time. Why is that? Nope. First time. Media, blah, blah, blah. Connection refused. Oh, crapped out. It reloaded the data. The server reloaded. That's weird. Okay, well, it's still loaded. What the heck? But it's still getting errors. But it's loading some of them. And it still did a cached fetch, which is weird. RM... Let's see, where am I? RM server, media cache. Let's nuke this again. Gulp. Let me monitor the folder from here. Although I don't think it will work. Let me move this thing back up here. Sometimes the Finder doesn't always update. That's what I'm... Dev... Play... this would be in server... Actually, the media cache server folder isn't even here. Is that correct? Server, is it being saved in some weird ass place? Or is the Finder not updating? I assume, yeah, it's not updating. -LR. So this time it loaded flowers and Predator. I wonder if it's some re-entrant resync issue. CD. Okay. Look at the bees directory again. Before we saw flower and predator loading. If I reload this, I'm going to reload the server again, which is weird. It shouldn't be doing that. I am in, it's not even creating the files this time. Let's reload the app. Client connect. Media cache deal dash LR. Now there's two directories. It's a step directory. Oh, is that what's going on? I think there's a mismatch between the directories, which might make sense. Media cache DL U. Step Ben B's? Is that what it was supposed to be? CD media cache. CD U. Step. Make sure this is the correct. That's strange. If I go to step Ben. And there's nothing in it. I think that there's... It's so weird. I wonder if my server reload code is not working. Let me try that again. Let me run it from scratch. We reload this page again. Oh, so it's loading some of them now. Oops. CD dev step or dev play server. Oops, play build server media cache. This time it loaded more of them, so there's something weird that's going on. Try to use step bin B's. So it's not consistently writing the files, it looks like. If I reload it again, does it get more of them? Here we had 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4. But the zero length files mean it thinks it's cached. So if I remove B player, CD, where am I? Media cache. CD blah. And let me remove B player, Hive, protractor, Sun. And if I reload this, maybe it will pick them up this time. And it did. Oh, okay. So how to boot this issue? step web serve is not loading, is not caching wrote files correctly. Loading some and or writing some, but not some at full length, but others at 0 length, which causes the cacher to serve a 0 length file. And also just alright, I'm going to log this as debug or test build for correct or test updated repo, and test play debug media cache problem. I should probably add a clearing doing gulp clean as a starting point. I don't think gulp clean clears the media cache though. Okay, so question, does gulp clean nuke the media cache? I don't know. I don't remember. So what time is it now? Now it's 11, it's about 11:30. And this goes underneath debug. So I'm about hitting up the 2-hour mark. Let's see. Is anyone in the chat room? Nope. This will be an archive stream. Oh, how's the stream quality? It seems to have gone back up. Maybe CBR is the way to go. Although I don't see myself moving. Oh, maybe it would help if I didn't click the screen and make it stop. It's still kind of blurry. Let's make sure microphone's still live. That's good. Oh, I might need a break. Alright, let's look at the code for the media cache stuff. That was refactored recently, so it's possible I screwed it up. So let's see where it is. The media, what are we doing? Query URL. This is the wrong project. Let's go back to play. Let's open up a step here. Over here. I guess we don't need that anymore. Or this. And over here, step web serve under, is this the right server lib? Why is it showing up twice? Let's make sure this is the right one. Build server lib step web server, okay. So, I want to re-enable all the logging in here. Under what conditions might this not write the file correctly? You download function error. Oops. Let's save that. Let's restarting the server. That should reload everything. I'm not sure if it's... Let's reload this file. And here it's getting all cached hits. So these are all unique. And that's drawing correctly. Let's remove all these files. Let's make sure we're in the right directory. Let's reload this. So, okay. So it's here, it's fetching, 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 caching. You know, I think this might be an asynchronous issue. So fetch, 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 and then caching is happening slowly. I think in some cases, maybe it's not done writing. This time I loaded everything. The hell? So we reload this now, it should refetch. And let's see. What's going on? Maybe it must be an async thing. Maybe Dropbox is slow. It is like early in the morning, people are online accessing Dropbox. Dropbox could be responding more slowly. So maybe the more robust check to do would be either to write better async load code, whatever that means, or check for 0 file length. Let me add something here. Download. Error. Caching res send file. So what you download does is it's supposed to return the file. But this is an asynchronous call. It should wait. The browser should be waiting for this. Sends file, cached fetch, failed. Where am I writing the file? That's probably a new download. Let's see what's going on there. So it ensures that the directory exists. It will return the appropriate error. It creates a writing stream. It gets the request. Oh, wait a moment. Where is this being passed? This is a global object. The URL might not, this might be different, depending if this runs asynchronously. It will run all at once. Request object might not be set. I should pass this explicitly. Verify response code. Okay, what it's doing, it's forwarding the URL. Where is that being passed? The URL is being passed. No, wait. No, am I getting this? Send request is request get. That should work. So we're getting the send request thing back. On the response, the status code, I do not check, it looks like, for other response codes. No, wait. No, if it's not equal to 200. It returns callback, but the callback is an error. No, it's an error function. No, wait, callback. Let me check this. So you download. Gets URL destination a callback. It should be falsely on success. If it is successful, okay, this is true. If it's not 200, it's an error. Let's add an additional. This should only execute if it's successful. Success. So do nothing and continue executing. This tricky code up here is just ending termination. If we get this far, we got a response from URL. Check for request errors. Oh, what's this? This is an error handler. Let's move this up here. Trying to think if there's an asynchronous thing between getting the URL. This is an asynchronous call. This should execute right away and define all this stuff. Error. All this stuff should probably be wrapped in the response here. Because here it's piping the file immediately. Yeah, I don't think this is right. I think this should be up here. Because, yeah, that seems like it should be. We got a response from the URL. We got a response 200, which is a good file. And what we should have is we have a file. Where is file defined? What? I don't want. Oh, file's up here. And they're telling it to output. On response, we're getting a response. Is this right? Send request is defined up here. On response, but why are we not doing anything with the response itself? Shouldn't we be piping it? File close. On error, on link. There's no file error. What is in the request format? What is send request? What's get URL? I'm not sure this is correct. Or it seems mysterious to me. What is it? A request. Node request. On, what was it, on response. Oops, crap. There's some low quality undoing there. Yes, on, I already forgot what it was. Response. I guess I would just look at the Node.js documentation. Node.js docs. I'm getting hungry. Reference documentation. What is this? HTTP or is it request? Is it global? Can I search this? think this is part of... It must be defined as someplace. Request get. So I guess past here somewhere? I don't see it. It's defined anywhere else? It's defined in 3 places. Request, request, request. Okay. Require request. That's nice. Because I don't like the style of including modules. Or the way they define them. I should start doing it in my own way so I can tell what's a locally defined object versus something, or loaded library versus an object. So what is this? This is the node request. Is that a module? Node request library. What's it? Simplified. Oh, I wonder if that's an NPM module that I'm using, not a node thing. Load. Come on, load. This must be it. Request this error response body. If error and response codes HTML below. Ah. No, you can stream any response to a file stream. This is actually a cool module. If no error, is it changed? Body is being passed. I think all I'm reading is the error. Unless I'm not doing this the same way. Request, okay, we're doing on response headers, and then pipe request put. Maybe this is the way that I should be doing it. Listen to the on error function log, get create server, pipe fs create stream. Huh. I think I'm not using it quite correctly. This is indeed the same module. Alright, so let's see what I'll create this request get thing. As we're so... Actually, the way that's using here is completely different. This is not the request get. I can see why they lowercase this now. I gave it like a capital letter because I thought that would be somehow more clear. But when it's capitalized, I think it's some other kind of global object. Request put. I guess the request object also gets request get on response. Request pipe. Request put. And it was it twice. Alright, so we're getting this gets URL. I guess the way to do it would be to rewrite this as request get URL dot, yeah, damn it. So we write it the way that this chain style. On blah. No, this is why I don't do it. On error. Getting super hungry. What should I eat for lunch? On response. I hate writing nested code like this. That's probably why I did it the other way. On response, do all this stuff. And that goes there. That creates so... How does the error handling work here? On error do this, otherwise pipe it. So really kind of what I wanted to do. Let's shove this over here for a second. So we are doing get URL, and then we are doing an on error unlink destination. And otherwise, on response, or actually, we could just pipe it right into it. But we have to create the file first. The file's already created. I think we can just do... What's this file on finish? Wait. This might not be necessary. So we do this, and then maybe just this pipe file. Will it handle all the errors for me? Log error. Let's see what happens. Server reload in 3 seconds. Reload. Crash, crash, crash. That seems, well, you got the cached list. Let's reload this now. This is where I'm expecting some crashes. Fetching from Dropbox. Seems I've loaded everything. Let's go back to test play. cd dev test play. See if this is still blowing up. Gulp clean. Let's see if the server directory is actually clean. Looks like the media cache is still there. So I think I need to update gulp clean to, yep. -fr media cache. And I'm still in the build directory, nope. And then if I gulp, and let's refresh here. And see if we have the crashy crash. So we're having the same issue with this. For some reason, when I run it here, no wait. That's the right that's not the right directory. cd dev test play server. Oops, test play build server. cd media cache. That actually worked. And it only loads some of them. They're all 0 length. If I run it again, do we have any better results? I think we did. It partially loaded some. Do it again. Yeah, more this time. Okay. If I remove, I'm not sure why it's screwing up. If I reload this again, why this and not my other one? This time I loaded all of them. Am I just getting the luck of the draw here? What I think I'll do is I'll add a test to you download. Although, let's look up request pipe. Can I detect a file writing error? Or actually, better yet, on the serving of the file, if it's a cache hit, I want to check the file length. I should be able to get that out of the stat object. Okay, res send file. If error. Okay, so if it's calling res send file. What is res? App using it as a response. Calling send file. If there's an error with res send file path, that means the file doesn't exist. Otherwise it's just forwarding it, so I can't actually detect that case. Else, let's look at res. Res send response send file. Where is that defined? Is this something I wrote? Can I patch into that? Res send file. I don't think it's called res. It's an express thing, I guess. Express send file. No. It's supported by for max age headers dot files. There are some options available. Path options, fname options, max age, root directory, last modify header, option for sending dot files. Dot files deny headers. Send file options. Maybe I need to add a separate stat. FS stat. So ffstat, that's another asynchronous thing. Bah. Let's do fssync. I know it's bad server form, but you still want to get the length of, check if a file is 0 length or not. What is it? .stat. Stat synchronous. Symlink. Oops. Synchronous stat. That's not what I wanted. Stats is an fsstats object. His file is directory, his block device, a regular file, util inspect stats would return a string very similar to this. I want to check the size. So I think there will be a property called stat size. Is there anything else useful in here? Stat size. Okay. Okay. So I want to go back to fstat sync. What's it? fstat. fstat sync. Okay. fstat sync file. Alright. Try to catch mystery case where 0 length files are written to cache. For stat equals fse, I think it is, path, console log, JSON stringify, stat. Let's just see what's in here. Am I in the right folder? We're going back to my play directory. So I just need to go back to dev play build server media cache cd. What's all this ds store BS? That's what's preventing my tab completion from working. That's probably because I'm browsing it through this Finder window. Probably. Screw you, Finder. Okay, we got some stuff in here. Let's nuke this. And let's go back here and reload. This will be on play, which is running currently. And we're getting a bunch of crashes because I've screwed something up. No such file directory. Stat users dev blah blah blah. Okay, if it doesn't exist, you can't stat it. Okay, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. If FSE exists, I think. Is that what it is? I'm going to open this up in another browser. It's on the left of me so I can actually see what's going on. fsstat sync. pull up the FS. Looking over here, FS exists sync. If FSE exists sync. Oh, it's deprecated. Really? But it tells me it blows up if I try to use it on a file that exists. Okay. How to see node does a file exist? Checking secret if a file directory exists in Node.js. What are they saying to do? FS access. What's that exists? Why doesn't that work? Am I misreading the error? What is it claiming? Is there an error handler that I need to provide? Ugh. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they use something called isExistSync. Now everything will be deprecated. There's also FS access. If this file doesn't exist, it triggers an error. This is updated every 5 years. No one knows. No one knows the answer to this. All right. I think that the issue that the Node developers has, if you had to check if something exists before you use it, you're coding wrong. So what would be the way around this? Unfortunately, using express as send file, there's no way to hook into it and tell whether or not it's doing it. So unless I rewrite express send file, I would still need to check if it exists or not. How do you check for the existence of a zero-length file? Maybe someone has had this problem. Node check zero-length file. Check for a zero-length file. This thing called X2FS. How to get file size in Node. Node.js detect empty file upload. This answer was written when? File size property. There's no answer to that. There is a module called X2FS called isEmpty. I wonder if FSE does that. FS extended. Because I am using Node FS extra. Looking over there, FS require FX extra. Method empty during ensure file. Come on, empty file. Ah, no. Empty dir, ensure file, ensure dir, ensure link, ensure symlinks, make dirs, move output file sync, output read JSON, things remove, walk. Nope, there's no simple. Is there an ensure? No, because why is this so difficult? I guess we should use fs access. That seems dumb. This throws an accessibility check fail. That will tell if it exists or not. Alright, so this is what it's going to be. If FSE access sync file, if it exists, right, where's the error? It will throw an error if the accessibility check fails. So we had to try catch it? I guess so. Oh, wait. We'll call back. No, there's no callback. Yeah. I do need to look into using this asynchronous package. Okay, if FSE access sync, I hate doing this. Try if FSE access file. What's the mode? So if we can access the file, we want to get the stat out of it. Catch. If it doesn't exist, we just want to continue. Do nothing. Continue with code which will load the file. Into the cache. Check for 0 length file. This is not really a great way to write a server, but we don't need, I don't think we need the high performance. Gulp. I am not a server writing expert. But this is flooping out. Oh, what's going on? Now it's just slow. All right. Is this emitting anything interesting? I'm not seeing any output. This is supposed to check to see if this is. This is happening. What's going on with this? BSM. And that's acting weird. So it cached a bunch of files. It's not printing out any output for me. I am in the right directory, right? Let's play. I am in the right directory, right? Yep. Let's try it again. Let's load this thing, reconnect. Did load all the files, but it didn't serve the file. Fetched it, didn't send it. Don't see any errors. I wonder if the sync is killing it somehow. Or it's throwing an error. Killing it. Console log E. Oops. Fetched all the files but didn't serve them. Reload U. Are we going to get any errors? Reference error. File is not defined. Where is that? Probably down here. Let's console log access success else access fail. Access fail, access fail, access fail. What if they should be a success? Fail, 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 fail. Well, they were all, none of them existed, so I guess that's correct. Where would the reference error be? Let's try this, see if this gulp debugging thing is. I've never tried actually using it before in a real problem. So I should, where do I need to go? Oops. Visit this URL to start debugging. That's exciting. Over here, we go to this. Let's see anything happening. Oops. Let's reload this. Computer's slowing down. And how do I use this? This is just executing and executing. I was hoping that it would actually tell me. Oh, here we go. Reference error. This is what I wanted. Yeah, line numbers. Kick ass. This is what I couldn't get before. Step web server line 87. Cannot access. This is it really? Oh, that's the reference error. Could not access file. So that is fine. But I think it just dies. Can I make it continue? Try catch. I never used try catch. Continue. Because I guess what would happen is if it's not continuing. Reference error. Normally, browser displays an error message while aborting execution of remaining code. You can put a lid on this behavior however you see fit. Try catch. guess you didn't exist. That's because it immediately skips any main code, goes straight to catch. Finally, they'll define the XOR regardless whether an XOR is a 9. You clean up after some side try. Side try. Break, continue, return. Nested try. I guess this doesn't work. I want to continue executing the code. Try catch else. That doesn't seem to quite be what I want. Can I continue from a try catch? What does the internet say? That should continue running. Unless I wrap this whole thing in a finally clause, which I do not want to do. Because I hate nesting code. And I'm not getting any output from here either. Actually, the second time I run it, it would work. Nope, it's a bunch of access fails. Because it never writes the file in the first place, I think. Or no. What the hell's going on? Got rid of access fail. It's not even writing the same code anymore. Yeah. So if we reload this, what do we see? All the files should be cached. So I should see information about it file existing, but I do not. Why is that? My guess is that access sync is not failing, is failing. Console log. Maybe the file reference itself is bad. Attempting to access file. Oh, actually, it's not file, it's path. That's stupid. Okay, let's try that. File, yeah, that makes sense. File, the reference doesn't exist. So, I feel silly. And this is where it would be nice when the compiler catches that. The linter didn't seem to catch it. Alright, so now if I reload this, I should see some output this time. Attempting to access blah blah blah, attempting to access blah blah blah. Okay, good. So at least that's working. And so now I should see see some stuff happen here. If it exists, I should see some stats. Some stat output now. But I don't. So if it's able to access it, it should be able to see. Unless the path is wrong. Here it's trying to send file the path. That's where it should be. It's the same value. Possibly path stat JSON stringify stat. Possibly the server didn't really reload. It does seem to be an issue sometimes. Let me reload this. So here it's not printing anything. It's freaking annoying. Console log. Access failed. See if I get the failure things. Nope, that didn't work that time. The server reload doesn't seem to be working quite right. Or it's just not failing because the file does exist, but why am I not getting a message printed out? Or am I just blind and not seeing it? Command Shift R. No. Okay. So access is succeeding, it looks like. But why does this code not execute? Try FSD access sync. FS access sync. Access sync. The mode is an integer. Following constants define the possible values of mode. What does this do? I don't think access sync is working. It doesn't actually, what? It doesn't do anything? What the hell does that mean? It throws an error if the access fails and then doesn't run anything else. It doesn't return anything. Actually, so I guess it doesn't return a value. All it does is throw an error, it doesn't return a value. So R returns false. Ugh. What? Really? Alright, so I guess what we need to do is this. And So if we get this far, it exists. Yeah, this time we're getting stats. Alright, so that was dumb. So here we're checking size. Stat is equal to this. If stat size 0, then we want to do some stuff. What we want to do is we want to unlink that file. And I used to have code that did that, but I deleted it. Fortunately, source tree will tell me what I deleted. So, blah, 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 blah. I thought it would be asynchronous too, right? All the synchronous code. Eyes are starting to dry out. Let's see, uncommitted changes. Am I in dev still? Yeah, I guess I am. Here's that. There used to be all this stuff. FSE unlink destination. What's destination? Destination is what? I can go to. Is there a way I can get source to show me the complete file? External diff, remove, custom actions, expand. I want to see the complete file. What is dest? Where is dest defined? I guess we can load the, this is where, this is in, let's look at the other project, why don't we, which has not been updated. You download. Dest is defined where. Destination is where we're writing it from. It is called with the value path, I believe. Yes, okay, good. I should change that so it reads path. Go back to play. And where was that? Up here. Check for 0 length files. Access sync is used before to prevent stat sync from erroring. File doesn't exist. If stat size is equal to 0, we want to FSE unlink path. I wonder if unlink actually is asynchronous. It does nothing. Console log. What is my error code? Yeah, what had happened? PR debug. Where's my prompts? Why is it totally drawing out? I want to see this work. You'll use DP. DP 0 length file detected. Erase. Zero length file. Okay. Let's see if this works. Service reloading. That is convenient. Let's load this. So it doesn't seem to break, at least. Let's remove these now. Reload this again. Still have audio? Good. Now I'm getting all kinds of errors. Oh, because there are all kinds of errors. What's the errors? No such file directory. An error if a stat sync. What, stat sync is still failing? The error is being thrown. This is kind of BS. This is supposed to throw an error and continue. When it throws the error, it's okay. But I think it just dies. It throws an error. And then it kills the rest of the function. Do I have to move this into its own little thingy? Just so it continues to run this function? Maybe. Let's try that. If you file exists path we can try to contain this try behavior in another function so it continues to execute this one. And all it needs to do so let's try it. Function you file exists path. Try if this is for return true, otherwise return false. If this works, I'll be amazed. Alright, so save that. Oops. Yeah. I guess that's what I wanted to do. Does it reload the server for me? It does. Shocking. Alright, so let's try it again. No message handler. Fetching from... It didn't seem to do... It has all these files there, but it's loading zero, still loading zero length files. Or it's not loading the files at all, rather. What's going on? It's stuck. Not serving. It's waiting. Did I just kill this? I made an infinite loop. This isn't working. I gotta take a break. Yeah, it's just... Oh, there it goes. Bees. it's half loading. These are flowers that haven't loaded. All the files are there. I think still is the asynchronous load issue. And this time it loaded. In the right folder, unplay. Alright, so what I've discovered seems to be... maybe it's all this synchronized code I'm running. So it syncs in the front, then it executes asynchronously. Synchronized code would probably blocks the file loading. So maybe I do need to convert it to synchronous or asynchronous code, which would look like a mess. But maybe that's what I need to do just to get around this. So I am going to take a break, rewrite media cache code part 1. What time is it now? 12:37, so I'm going to call it 12:30. That's another hour of debugging. I forgot why we're doing this in the first place. Okay, I'm gonna call it quits for a while and come back later and see if I can get this to work. The break will be good. Maybe I'll go get a sandwich. Alright, thanks for watching, coworkers. Hope you're getting stuff done. Hope you're having a better day than I am. I'll see you later.